It's Hot937, Hot937.com. What a morning this morning, man. Greatness in the building right now. Morgan Heritage, how you guys feeling? Yes. Good morning, good morning.
Legends. We got legends in here.
Oh, my God.
How you guys feeling? Thanks for coming. How's everything going, man?
It's good to be back home, brother. It's good to be back in that area, that New England fresh air in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. Just remind you of the Caribbean and of the mountains.
In the mountains.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you, I was in Jersey. At the Buju show, you came on stage.
Yeah. Wow.
I was at that show. That was an amazing show.
That was a long time.
Oh, you mean Queens?
The Queens, yeah. Yeah, how you feel jumping on that stage when that happened, man?
It was crazy, man. It was a great night for the culture, a great night for the music, a great night for Jamaican artists to show you what is possible. Because, I mean, that was historical. I don't know when the last time you seen a reggae or dancehall artist sell out 2 nights in an arena.
2 nights in the arena.
I don't know when the last time you saw that.
I don't know.
Maybe never.
I haven't.
You haven't seen it, right? Nah. So, and I know he's coming up here in Hartford soon, so that's going to be crazy as well. So just to know that a reggae artist had done that, and then just to be there to join him for that moment, knowing the journey that we've been through together before, during his incarceration, and then after the joy, seeing him with his kids and seeing us amongst artists, amongst everybody is a joy.
You know something? It's kind of weird for me, Reg. I mean, you know, and Rex, you know, this is the first time I'm talking to you guys without your brother.
Yeah.
And these interviews, he was such a big part of. He was a big voice, a big personality, a big part of everything. How's it going?
It's been rough. It's been rough. By the way, we got a surprise for you. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, but for all of everybody that's listening, Una Morgan, you know, she's back to her day job. You know,
It's his best friend.
Yeah, and just, I mean, you know, you can talk from your perspective of what it's been like, because I know it's not been easy.
How's it feel doing this, jumping to the radio and talking without him?
What? It brings back a lot of memories, Buck, and it brings back a lot of our childhood, because as you know, we were raised in Springfield. Yeah. So coming back here without Peter, it's been a rough period. The last couple of days have definitely been rough. I mean, rehearsing, getting ready for the show tonight has been rough. But we're taking it one day at a time. One day at a time. Our parents used to say one cocoa full basket. Right. And that's what it's been like for us, because he was our brother. He was our best friend. He was our business partner. He was our confidant. Yeah. He was also a comedian. A lot of people don't know how funny Peter was. I mean, he would make us crack up at the crack of the dime. So for us, it's one day at a time, literally. We'll never get over this. And then 2 years before that was our dad. So the two most important men in our lives, the Most High, said time for them to come home and for y'all to continue with the work. Like when Gramps went to Philippines and when Peter just passed on, and you know, we didn't know, but we were like, yo, Walid are gone. What we are gonna do? And Peter came to Gramps in a vision and said, go finish the work. Go finish the show. Yes. And for us, that was when we said, all right, okay, JP, thank you for the answer. And, you know, Mojo can carry on, because Mojo and Peter got extremely close in the latter parts of Peter's walk on here on Earth. So, you know, each one of us carry a different vibe. For me, he was, it was a lot.
Mojo, on the stage, there's going to be a microphone that you usually see him on.
Yes, sir.
You're going to do your thing. You know he's watching. You know he's there.
Oh, he's
going to be
with
there
us.
tonight.
He's present. You know, he made it very clear that he's given us enough to be able to do what we've done together, moving on, if that makes sense. So, with Jamiri stepping in, fulfilling his royal duties, as Gramps would say, anchoring, you know, that position, you know, we know that he's being used. Every time he steps out on that stage, he's a vessel, just like we all are, right? But now, it's not just the Spirit of the Almighty moving through I and I. We know that not just our Father is present, but we know Peter is present, because just the cadence, the mastery, the way how Jamiri performs now, it's not the Jamiri that the world has seen previous 10 years with him traveling the world with Morgan Heritage, developing, basically the understudy to his uncle, right? Yeah. So it's truly a blessing for us as a family, above all, to be able to have a moment like this and overcome.
Enough. I like that word, enough. As a unit, Morgan Heritage, have you guys done enough? Do you think is there a lot more to do? Enough is a word, we've done enough.
Yeah.
Do you feel you have more?
You got a lot more.
From a different perspective,
right.
Recording. Between all of us, it's 1,000 songs. Morgan Heritage alone is like maybe 800, and then you got the solo songs, Peter solo songs, Mojo, my solo songs. It's almost 1,000 songs, brother. Probably over. Yeah. We're right now. We kind of gather our we can, and I say what is out there, what has not been registered, because we were moving on blinders, man, just recording. I sit here and listen to Best Friend, produced by Don Corleone on the drop leaf rhythm, and remember going back and forth between St. Thomas and Kingston, recording every day, and going between Bobby Digital and King Jammy's. Those days were putting in the work. Now it's, it's looking in the family and looking at the artists like Jamiri now working in the studio with so many different producers. Most recently, he's in the studio with Damian Marley, producing an album and putting out singles, working with Kabaka Pyramid. So it's looking amongst us and saying, okay, what is the next talent in the Morgan Heritage family to develop? You have Esh, Mojo's son, that's, attacking the rock pop world, so there's talent in the family that we're developing. We got rappers, but with the rappers with the right message, we're pushing that, because the message have to stay consistent from what our father did. It's happiness and joy. So you won't hear no legacy artists within the Morgan Heritage family pushing violence and pushing hardcore sex. Although we love sex, but we're not pushing that or selling that. We're selling love.
Morgan Heritage, the Morgan family is born with microphones. They're born with an instrument.
Yeah.
They are born with an instrument.
That's
right?
what it is.
Let's go take care of some things and come back. It's Hot Now 37, hotnow37.com. Man, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Morgan Heritage is in the studio right now. The newest single right now, man. Let the people know about your single.
Yeah, man, the new single is called Higher We Go. This is Jamir Morgan. This one is produced by Damian Marley. Yeah, man.
That's a connect. That's a good phone number to have in the phone to call up to Damian and give you that one.
Yeah, man.
How's it feel, man? It sounds really good.
Yeah, it's been good. I feel good. Just being here with my uncles and my dad and my auntie, just carrying on the legacy and just making sure that we make the fans happy, make our family happy, make ourselves happy, and I'm enjoying the journey.
What have you learned from your uncles and your aunt? What have you learned?
Practice your craft, take it serious, because they're not easy on me. Trust me.
Even though they're where they are right now, they still practice hard. And
What? We was practicing last night.
It wasn't just, nephew, come on.
No.
Gotta work.
No, man.
Right.
Yeah, they're on me hard, trust me.
Because they could, they have to be tough aunts and uncles to say you have to work at it, or they can just give it to you. Some people don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And they make sure you deserve it. They're making you work for it.
Definitely. And I've been on the road with them for so long, it's been like, unknowingly, I've been preparing all my life for it, for what I'm doing now, so.
And Mojo said you stepping on that microphone that Peter would be on. How's that feel?
Oh, man, that's some big shoes. When he first told me, like, Jamie, it's your job now. I'm like, whoa, I wear size 8. You want me to jump into a size 18 now? But with the help of them, through the journey and practicing and just learning the craft and watching back the shows over the years, I've been prepared and we're ready to keep going.
All right. So what personal adjustments did you guys have to make, with one of the band members being gone now? What did you have to do personally to adjust to move on?
Stop crying.
Stop crying.
Stop
Build
crying
up the
on
strength
stage.
to understand that we have a new reality.
Correct.
It's we saw Peter brought us to see Michael Jackson at the Garden, right? And Michael, all the way up until the end, he would have 5 lights come on and look left to right because of the presence of his brothers. And he never forgot the Victory Tour and what it was like touring with, the Jackson 5. So for us, Peter's gonna always be present in our live show. He's always gonna be there with us because you can't change what you've built, right? the great songs that you started the segment with, right? That we've written, the catalog that Graham spoke about, that we've amassed. It's the work that has been done. So now we're not trying to do something new. We're trying to just continue the legacy.
What would you guys say to a family and a young artist out there right now trying to get into business? You guys are musicians. You guys are masters at it. How important is it to be masters at your craft right now? Because technology has made it easy for anybody to become a star for 5 minutes. Yeah. A microwavable record. I call it microwavable records because they're here today, going tomorrow. How important is it to master your craft and really know it's a lot of business, but really being talented? How important is it to have that?
It's very important. I'm glad you mentioned that, because when you talk about Peter Morgan, right, you talk about what our father instilled in us and how he made us study the greats, the Sam Cooke, the Otis Reddings, the James Brown. I remember specifically that big brown TV on Bristol Street in Springfield, and we would watch James Brown, and it was on a VHS cassette, and my father said, "No, study this. This is James Brown," and that's the way he would move, and the series. My father used to tell us about the way he used to practice and the hours and what he put. When he was preparing for the Ed Sullivan show, I remember Daddy telling us that, and he rehearsed an entire week to perform one song.
One tune.
One song. So we took that kind of CM vibration to reggae music, that concept, that model to reggae music, and it's only a handful of people take the music that serious in a reggae and dancehall. You know, you talk about the great Buju Banton, like I just remember when he called for us in London. And as soon as we met, it was like kindred spirit, like, yo, let's do it. That militancy, like, yo, let's go reggae dancehall, like, take it to the world, but present it at its finest quality, right, and become masters of our work. So we studied the greats from other genres and brought it to reggae. You talk about the seriousness about Bob Marley, took the music. It's a certain militancy and a certain seriousness, and it's the same pressure that's on Jamiri right now. That's why I said, okay, Jamiri's the new lead singer, and I say no, don't take on that pressure yet. Right now he's performing his royal duties, you know, and representing his uncle and just being that voice, and he's doing a great job. I'm proud of him, just to say, okay, he's taking it serious and want to become a master of it. Good lyrics, inspiring, the quality of your performance, sounding on key, not going flat on stage, and making good records. So when you talk about what goes into that, it's years, Buck.
Not
It's
easy.
years, man. I remember in Bristol Street when we were growing up on the 3rd floor, Buzzy and Scotty and Jay and Aki, they'll be like, yo, let's go to Blunt Park, yo. Let's go to the park. Be like, no, Daddy said we gotta practice. We can't come outside. He was looking out the window like, we want to come outside. And we had to make the sacrifices, and I'm happy we did. Yeah, man. You have to make sacrifices, Buck.
And to add to what you were saying earlier and to what my brother is saying, the professional side of it, which is the business, is very important to understand it in this day and time, because you got now streams. You know, you don't have the actual records that's selling, you know what I'm saying? So that's a whole
physical record.
The physical record. So a lot has changed, and even for Morgan Heritage, because we came in at a time where MySpace was around. You know what I'm saying? And now we got TikTok. You know, big difference in the platforms. But understanding it from that time to this time has really, really helped us to be able to stay relevant, so to speak. With myself being absent for about 8 years now, coming back into the game at a different season, I'm learning a lot at the same time. Some of the stuff I can't really get into, but the business side of it I can understand, because I've always been working alongside our dad and other managers. But I like Gramp said, you have to have the tenacity. You have to have the desire. You can't be a microwavable artist and think. You got to think about legacy. You know what I'm saying? That's why Aretha Franklin, bless her heart. Let's talk about Diana Ross. Can come back on tour how many years later and have a sold-out tour. You know what I'm saying? That's what we believe in as Morgan Heritage, and I pray that a lot of the up-and-coming artists consider that as their future versus them trying to say, all right, I just need a record on Hot 937. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think it's a combination of all things on how to become that artist.
That's great to hear. I'm just proud to say I'm friends with Morgan Heritage. When you mention Morgan Heritage in music, it's a family that's legendary. It's there.
Yeah.
And I can say, I can call on them right now. Them guys are my friends.
Like
I'm
you said,
so
like
happy
you
about.
told him, it's a good number to have in your phone.
I appreciate you guys coming up here. It's amazing. Every time you guys are in town, you come up, still representing Springfield to the fullest. A lot of people leave here and they disown their hometown.
Yeah,
no,
that's
Springfield.
True. That's true. We love Springfield because it's big up to Una Morgan the first, you know, because she was a visionary that said when we was being raised in Brooklyn, when we was young, like 4 or 5 years old, she came to my dad and said, "Right." My father's nickname was Roy. She said, "We got to get these kids out there. If we was raised in Brooklyn, we'd have been more rougher. We are rough already, but we'd have more rougher, you know." And he said, you know, she told him, said, "Take the kids to Springfield. It's a little more subtle." This was, 40 years ago.
Wow.
And then, you know, he followed, listened to his mom. That's one of the things that in our family that we grew up seeing, the respecting your parents, respecting your elders. These are the principles that came that my grandmother said to her children coming as a Seventh-day Adventist church and said, yo, manners and respect will carry you through the world. And that's what I think a lot of these kids today is losing the respect for their elders, not only your parents, but knowing that, hey, Buck may have a year on me, still I got to show respect.
You have to,
Just
yeah.
saying that he's an elder. So those things we want to make sure we reinstill in our community. But it's always a joy to come up to Hot 937, man. It's a joy always, man.
And we appreciate it, man. Tonight, showtime is what time?
I think doors are like 6. It's a free show.
Free show.
Family
Free show.
event.
Sorry.
Another free
Hartford.
show.
So we're looking for everybody from New Haven, Rhode Island, Springfield,
Boston.
all our family, Boston. It's that type of event. It's the first time we're doing a performance with Peter in our hometown where we got our education, and we're really looking forward to share a moment with, you know, the place that we call home.
We appreciate it. We'll be there, man. You guys have put a lot of music. I want to play another song, kind of Latin feel. Tell me what this song we're about to play before
So
you leave.
Teodoto was, we were working on a lot of music in the pandemic, right? Gramps was releasing some amazing work, and Peter and I was in the lab cooking up different concepts. We love concept albums like The Homeland that was released last year when we were here, is currently nominated for Album of the Year at the Caribbean Music Awards coming up later this month. And our single, Who They Like You, featuring Stonebwoy, Baby Shem, and Bounty Killer.
Stonebwoy was here and he talked about that. too.
Exactly,
He was
is also nominated in that in Song of the Year. So the next concept for us, we were flirting with the Latin world, right? And we did a lot of production over the years, as Gramps talked about the catalog, and we found a record that just sounded amazing in the LMS catalog, I Adore You. We said, all right, let's flip that, Teodoto. And that gave birth to Teodoto. You know, the mother of my last 2 kids is Hispanic, so I had help with my lyrical translation with that. And Peter worked with our monitor engineer, who's actually from Spain, with the translation of his lyrics. And, you know, it came together organically. It didn't feel forced because we had, you know, people that were actually Hispanic guiding us through the process to make sure that we're using the right phrasing and things of that nature. But it's just Morgan Heritage doing what we do, pushing the envelope. Teodoto, brand new music from Morgan Heritage till the year 3000 and beyond.